Okay, we came all the way to New Orleans to visit with Kourtni Mason, who's the author of Little Miss Dancey Pants and who's an attorney in New Orleans. And guess what? We're from Monroe, Louisiana. How about that? So please tell us, who is Little Miss Dancey Pants? When did you introduce her to the world, and what inspired you to create this character?
Absolutely. First and foremost, thank you so much for coming to New Orleans. I appreciate it so much. I'm honored that you traveled this far to come and see. But Little Miss Dancey Pants is a little girl on her journey of becoming the dancer she always knew she would be. And the story was inspired by one of my best friend's daughters. I was able to babysit her once. And she was just dancing, she was lively, bouncing off the wall. She wanted to perform for me for any song that I would play for her. And so I said, you know what? You are such a little dancey pants. And when I said those words, it just kind of like a light bulb went off in my head. And I thought, she's exactly how I was when I was a child. And there's so many other little girls who are just like her, who absolutely love dance from a very young age. She was 5 years old at the time, and now she's dancing consistently in Florida. And she's 11 years old now. So it's just amazing to see how much it's grown from the conception of the idea into how much she's grown. When I really thought about it, I said, you know what? I want to see if there are books that are out there with diverse characters who love dance just as much as I did when I was a child, and just as much as she did. And I didn't find any. I found a handful of books that talked about dance that had diverse characters or the main character. And so I said, you know what? I'm going to create a book. And it first started out with just one book. The first book was Little Miss Dancey Pants, and now I'm growing it to become a series. Where now I have Little Miss Dancey Pants goes to dance camp and working on a coloring book. So that's what really propelled me, was just seeing the need for books for little girls related to dance, but also that show women or little girls of color that they can relate to, because I'm a firm believer that children should see themselves in the stories that they read.
So I see that you have a long resume when it comes to the performing arts. So can you tell me about your dance background?
Yes. So I started dancing in high school. In Monroe, Louisiana, I danced for my high school, which was Washita Parish High School, and we had a studio that we would work with. It was Missy Crane Dance Studio, and I absolutely love them, so I always have to plug them. But it was a great opportunity to really just grow. And when I got to college, I would dance. That's when I really was introduced into various aspects of dance in terms of modern dance, African dance, really immersed myself in ballet through our company, the Orchesis Dance Company at Grambling State University.
I know about them.
Yes. And our dynamic director and choreographer is Diane Maroney Grigsby. She was trained with in Alvin Ailey in New York, and she just has a wealth of knowledge related to dance, and she trained us vigorously throughout the entire 4 years. So I was able to have that training and then go on to dance professionally with the Atlanta Hawks in Atlanta right after I graduated from college.
So tell us what it was like appearing in the movie The Great Debaters and performing in the 2013 Super Bowl halftime show with Beyonce.
Well, both were absolutely amazing. Okay, so I'll start with The Great Debaters. That is also one of the opportunities that came from dancing at Grambling and under the tutelage of Miss Diane Maroney Grigsby. Ironically, and just which is a testament to her skill, Denzel Washington contacted, the different people to find out who would be a choreographer that he can use to help choreograph a specific number within the movie. And he got the contact information of Ms. Maroney. Well, she needed dancers, so she went right into the company and asked that myself and a few other dancers come and assist. We were able to go and teach some of the lead characters like Journey Smollett and Nate Parker. We went to Shreveport and taught them and the different numbers that we would have to perform. So that was just kind of like, wow, we're on a movie set.
So that went on in Shreveport.
Yes. So the rehearsals went on in Shreveport. So we did that initially, and it was just a select few of us, but then we were able to go, and she brought the choreography back to Grambling and taught various members of the company and members of our marching band, and we're all kind of in the movie. So we get to look back on that and say like, wow, we were in a movie, that was directed by Denzel Washington and have all these amazing, actors and actresses, and it was such a good movie. So that was a really, really fun time to be a part of that production. So if you watch the movie, you'll see my face kind of quickly move through, but that was great. And then So when I moved to New Orleans, I had the opportunity to dance for the Super Bowl with Beyonce, and that opportunity came out of nowhere. One of my really close friends, she heard about the opportunity and she told me, she said, listen, Beyonce's coming to town. She's auditioning and looking for local dancers in addition to the dancers she already had. And so she said, if you want to dance, let me know. I'll, send you the contact information. She did. We kind of had a freak out moment, and we both said, you know what, we're not passing up on this opportunity. And we went through the audition process. We had to wait, painstakingly for a couple of weeks to hear back from them. And thankfully, they, selected. Right, we had to go through. We were chosen, but then they also did another round of cuts, and we made it through those cuts. And I was just over the top, over the moon, just excited because no one really knew that. Years prior, I wrote down kind of like in a journal that one of my goals was to dance with Beyonce, not thinking that it would happen, but that
in Louisiana too.
Right, so. In Louisiana, it's just kind of a testament of visualizing what you want and kind of putting it out into the atmosphere, because who would have thought that I would live in New Orleans and Beyonce would come to town and we would be able to have that experience of dancing for the Super Bowl. So that was really, really fun.
And a winning experience,
yes.
I'll tell you that. How do you balance being an attorney and pursuing your love for performing arts?
It is a juggling act, I will tell you. But like with any entrepreneur, you want to make sure that you definitely have that time after your work. So just like everyone else, I get up in the morning, work my full-time job, and then when I come home, I devote 6 o'clock till however long, 10, 11 o'clock at night to Little Miss Dancey Pants, because I do want to grow the brand into much larger than the book series. So I make sure that I do, have that time for growing the business.
All right. So where can our audience purchase the Little Miss Dancey Pants children's book? Where can they purchase it?
You can purchase the book on our website, littlemissdanceypants.com, and also on Amazon. So if you go on our page, you'll see that on our shop tab that there's all types of things related to our merchandise, the books that we offer, and also you can see our social media accounts for Facebook and Instagram. They're linked to our website as well. If any parents want to have their little ones featured on our page, send us an email or send us a direct message on Instagram or on Facebook. We absolutely love featuring all the little dancers because it's just a joy to see the Little Miss Dancey Pants all over, the country and even internationally.
Okay, well, thank you so much for coming on the slideshow for PowerPointe to talk with us about Little Miss Dancey Pants. And please keep us updated on the process of the doll so we can talk about it more in the future, okay?
Absolutely.
Thank you, Kourtni.
For having me. Thank you.
No problem.